So Six Sigma is a management philosophy to meet business objectives.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please.
Divya Bharati ma'am, please mute.
Yeah, Divya Bharati madam, you have any questions? All right. So Six Sigma is a management philosophy. Of course, it uses statistics because we need to know where is our process centered, and we need to know the distance of the center of the process from the customer specified limit. And then in terms of that too, in terms of the sigma level. And so what is sigma? Sigma is the standard deviation. So we need to learn some statistics so that we can better appreciate the idea, ideology of Six Sigma methodology developed by Bill Smith and Michael Harry. So you can meet your business objective simply by reducing variation, because variation is the source of defect. What is variation? The difference from product to product. You call it the part to part variation. You produce 1,000 products from the same machine. Do you think all 1,000 products are same because you use the same machine, because you run it in the same manner? Definitely no. Each product will differ from the previous product. So there is some amount of variation. If you keep this variation very, very low, customer can't see it. And so they will buy all 1,000 products. But if you allow the variation to increase, then it will become visible to customer. If it becomes visible to customer, then customer will say, I will accept this and not accept this. So what is actually making your products to get rejected? The variation. So if you control the variation, all the products will be accepted by your customer. That means you will really achieve the state of zero defect. So it's a disciplined, data-driven methodology for decision making and the process improvement, right? To improve the process performance, we need to decrease the variations and defects. You reduce the defects by reducing the variation, and you are sure that your results are really great for your customer. And see here, there are two processes. One process is spreaded heavily. When this is the generally this is called normal distribution, a bell shape. And always there are two possibilities. The central tendency is here, and at the center, the height of the curve is small. But whereas here at the center, the height of the curve is very high. That means if the center height is very high, you can understand majority of your products are around the center only. But here, not majority. Products are scattered, and that's why you get a more spread. If you get more spread, sigma level will go down. If you get less spread, sigma level will be high. That means you ensure the center of the process is on the target. You ensure the center of the process is on the target, and you also ensure the spread is very less. If the spread is very less, everything produced by the process will be inside the specification limits given by your customer. As a result, customer will happily accept all the outputs from the process. So this ideology is called Six Sigma. This is called the Six Sigma approach. That means everything you produce is accepted. First time, right. There is no chance, you are not giving any chance for the defects to occur, and then there are no rework. That means less wastage, less rework, and as a result, reduced cost. And the moment you understand your process exhibits normality, there is a greater predictability, because the normal distribution theory can help you understand what can happen to your process in the future, right? And so predictability improves, consistency improves. As a result, your customers are happy. So basically, any problem, any real-time problem can be considered as a statistical problem. What is statistical problem? The center of the process. Where is the process center located? And then what is the spread of the process? What are the requirements? The process center should be on the target. What should be the spread of the process? You want lower spread or you want higher spread? If you keep higher spread, what will happen? Your process might cross the specification limit. And as a result, the outputs might get rejected. So the statistical problem is keeping the average or keeping the center on the target, and then keeping the spread lower. You take care of these two things, definitely no product quality is taken care. This is called a statistical solution. But how do you reduce the spread, and how do you position the center? We have to work in real time. That is called practical solution, right? So according to Michael Harry, any problem which you come across in your company, you should be able to express it in the form of numbers. If you express it in the form of number, your problem is converted into statistical problem. If you can't do that, take it granted, you have not understood the problem. If you are not able to express the problem in which you are facing in the form of a number, please take it granted, you have not understood the problem fully. If you have not understood, you cannot control it, isn't it? If you can't control it, then how can you improve the result, or how can you solve the problem? You need to be at the mercy of God, right? So this is the problem solving approach of Six Sigma. Any practical problem, real-time problem, convert into a statistical problem. Present it in the form of numbers. And then using the number, you identify only two things. One is average, another one is standard deviation. Average will talk about the central tendency. Standard deviation will talk about the spread. What we wanted to be sure that average is on the target. We wanted to be sure that the spread is very, very minimum. Your problem is solved, right? And this is Six Sigma way of problem solving. So Six Sigma is a metric. Six Sigma is a metric. Six Sigma is a measure of your capability. Higher Sigma level means higher capability. If you have higher